Everything the mortuary girl told me aligned with Papa's confession, and that realization alone tightened something in my chest. The moment I stepped out of Papa's room, I didn't expect to see who I saw standing by the door. Since there was no lantern outside, the place was completely dark. I froze like a statue, absolutely terrified. My whole body was covered in goosebumps. So even in darkness, you can't recognize your mother. The second I heard that voice and her laughter, I heaved a huge sigh of relief. Mama, it's you. Wow, this woman was trying to send me to an early grave. When I got to my room, I just fell on my bed, exhausted, and immediately slept off. The next morning, Papa left the house very early for work. I needed to wash a few dirty clothes, so while I was doing that, Mama walked up to me, carrying a small wooden chair. I knew right then and there this woman wanted to gossip. And from the way she positioned that chair, I knew this wasn't just ordinary gossip. Mama wanted information. Michael, my son, she began, with that special smile she always used whenever she wanted to confuse Papa. How was your night? She asked. Mummy, good morning. My night was fine. How about yours? I mumbled, keeping my eyes fixed on my bucket of clothes. She cleared her throat, looked around, and then continued, If your night was so fine, then tell me what you and your father were talking about while I was away. Mama, you should have just asked him yourself. I scoffed. Well, she replied, knowing he was tired and needed to rest. I didn't want to disturb him. Besides, I trusted you to give me the gist later. I looked up at her and said, How can you trust a son that doesn't even trust himself? We both burst into laughter. That woman was a low-key comedian. I can't even lie. She eventually realized I was going to be a hard nut to crack and went to the kitchen, which gave me the chance to finally finish my laundry. Around 1 p.m., Mama was done preparing Papa's lunch. As usual, she handed the flask to me to take to him. As I was leaving the mortuary later, something in my spirit felt restless. e8e was sitting there quietly. She was wearing a white top and a blue skirt, barefoot. The moment she saw me, her face lit up with a warm, breathtaking smile. For the very first time, she stood up to offer me a hug, opening her arms wide. Brothers and sisters, if you saw the way I rushed in, but I was careful not to touch her injuries. How are you? I asked after we pulled apart. Still standing, she gazed firmly at me. Michael, she said, her voice serious. One of my father's guards has traced me here. That's the end of this episode. What do you think will happen next? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of The Girl Outside the Mortuary. Thanks for watching.